welcome everyone to the exciting episode of Two Bar Connections of your host, Jesse and...
James. What's going on, everybody?
What is going on indeed? So, we are here today with a scuff-free audio, which is great. We finally found out what the audio issue is. Before we talk about audio issues and our personal, checkups, as we always do, let's go over what we are going to be talking about for this episode. So for this episode, we're going to be talking about the Video Game Foundation has opened up a online library that has access to tons of video game media and old video game builds and prototypes that you can try out for free online right now. We also have some coverage on the Overwatch Spotlight, which was shown over yesterday. And we also have a report on Xbox sales going down, as well as a really big story covering all the woes going on at Warner Brothers Games, as they have been absolutely burning this past few years, and they have been on fire and are trying to enter course correction. We also have a story on the PSN also being on fire, as well as it went out over this past weekend. And going on the Sony train, we also have Sony being absolute assholes and removing Bloodborne mods for no fucking reason. And then before we end it, we have the Sony State of Play, which was just yesterday. But before we get into all that, how are you?
I've been doing pretty good, man. I finished my statistics class, and I've been killing it with the Final Fantasy Rebirth. I just got to Costa del Sol.
Oh man, okay, you're really playing a lot, huh?
Dude, I've been going at a pretty good clip, and I've been 100%ing everything. I've even been beating all of the Queen's Blood challengers with ease, I might add.
Ah, okay. So what are your early impressions? You're still maybe a third of the way through the game. Like you're at the third. You have to pass the first act at this point. So what are your impressions so far?
Oh no, the game's phenomenal. It's starting to open up, and the menace is making itself known. I encountered the enemies on the ship where the Mako poisoned infused individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if that's a weird sounding term that I just used, but they're being...
Sounds illegal.
Yeah, I would say illegal, but then I saw
it's illegal.
Mr. Hojo, and I was like, oh, of course. But I gotta say, it's pretty depraved what he is doing, sending those monsters, and they merge with with those guys in the black robes, quite painfully, I might add. Like they're literally like screaming in pain. I'm like, oh my god. What the fuck? So
yeah, wait till you get to part 3 and you find out how much of a sick fuck Hojo really is.
Nah, I already knew he was a sick fuck. There was a cut scene in Remake when he was talking to Aerith about her mom, and I'm pretty sure he was having a serious hard-on talking about like her tissues. Yeah, it was fucked. Like there's no other word for it. It was so disturbing. But he has, not to get into facial stereotypes, but whenever and I don't know if it's like the Japanese in particular, but whenever there's a really depraved individual, they have a certain facial structure, and they have a certain, is it phenotype? Is that the right word?
I guess
use?
So.
Yeah, phenotype. And they all look, all the creeps and all the disgusting people, like the truly sadistic people, all have the same face. And Hojo had that face in the beginning, and I was like, oh no. I kind of remember what he did in the original. And
his voice also doesn't help either. It's got such a fucking... It's condescending and creepy at the same time.
It is condescending and creepy. I want to turn the dub on. Sorry, not the dub. The original voice in Japanese. And I want to hear what it sounds like. It sounds exactly how I would imagine it. Like a high-pitched sneering, like... like that kind of...
Yeah.
That kind of creepy voice. But the game is fun. The combat is fun. There's a lot to do, and even after, especially in the Judon region, some objectives they have you go back through it on hard mode, like the Fort Condor, which by the way was hard, but I managed to pull through to truly 100% it. And excuse me. And there was a part. Do you guys care about spoilers at this point, or it's not really spoilers because it's like halfway through the game.
The assassination.
The the assassination attempt on
Oh, you already got to that part?
Parade. Yeah, dude, I'm at
Oh yeah,
Costa del Sol.
that's right. That does happen after Costa del Sol.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have Yuffie on your team.
Not
yet. No, actually, no. Yeah. That's right. It's a little bit later in Costa del Sol.
However, she does have a little smiley, like a little like. So all your party members have like a little smiley, like a face, and it slowly becomes a smiley face the more you build the relationship with them. And Yuffie has hers, but she's not in my party yet. She's just chilling, and she offered me ice cream, which is pretty cool. And Johnny gave us a place to stay in his luxurious 5-star resort.
His luxurious fucking rundown piece of crap.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, dude, but it's nice. So I'm there. I just started participating in the I guess in the festivities, because I gotta play certain games to win tickets so that I can buy Cloud's beachwear. And
oh yeah, that part. Yeah, that's the part of the game where like it does feel a little patty. Yeah. Well, it's the part of the game where like, all right, this is the mini game. You know, you play the mini games here, and you're gonna have to do them, and you have to do it multiple times if you want to, get to the next part of the story. Which the mini games are pretty fun, so I didn't mind it too much. And at the time, I was like kind of really high on the game, but looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, this part probably could have been sped up a little bit.
Well, it's like you said. For me, I like the mini games part. Like I love the card game. The Queen's Blood card game is actually really, really fun once I got the hang of it.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, I love it very, very much. So I don't mind the mini games too much because I think they add to it. They add to the game a lot. So I'm at that part, and I think it's not padding, dude. I think they saw every anime or every game or every anime game rather. Everybody has a beach episode now, so
yeah, and it's different padding. It's there to show you the characters being in hot swimwear.
It's not padding; it's tradition. It's Japanese tradition now.
It's culture.
Every exactly. It's culture. Every piece of Japanese media must now include a beach arc, a beach episode.
Are you following a guide?
Huh?
Are you following a guide by any chance?
I'm only following a guide for the story, for like certain story parts, but whenever I'm like free roaming and doing side quests,
I guess it'll cover it. I mean, I'm gonna say it anyways. If you match up Cloud's swimwear with either Tifa or Aerith's, you'll get more bond points depending on which, or you can get both equally if you match with both of them. Just so you know ahead of time.
Okay, well I'm gonna match with both of them then, even though I probably should match with Aerith because for some reason I don't know how it happened. Don't ask me why, but Tifa's relationship level is like higher, and I was like, excuse me.
No, it's okay. You'll have plenty of chances to increase Aerith's.
Yeah. Also, another reason that Aerith is best girl exhibit like 5,000. Also, potential spoiler. So I played the Queen's Blood tournament on the cruise ship, and I beat everybody, and then I got the random challenger, which looked suspiciously like a dog in a uniform. And Aerith was like, "Go Cloud," and Tifa was like, "You can do it, Red." And I was like, "Hey, oh, you fucked up. I mean, you were here, now you're here. You fucked up, Tifa." You cheering up, goddamn dog. But it was very, very fun. The cruise ship part.
Man, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And going off that part with the cruise ship part and the mystery, the mystery challenger, I really love like how they've kind of doubled down on the silliness that this game has. Right? They're just completely unafraid to be like, all right, guys, we're gonna be like super goofy now. We're gonna have this mystery challenger be mysteriously dog shaped, and we're also gonna introduce him with him doing a Michael Jackson dance on the way.
Dude, it was kind of funny. So it's funny because speaking of dogs, I would like to also introduce our surprise guest for today.
Hi.
She's trying to sleep, and I'm being loud. I'm very sorry, Shelby. That's Shelby, my dog. It wasn't her in the costume, I promise. But
yeah.
But what actually made me super. What killed me was in the beginning where he wanted to enter the tournament.
Oh, no animals allowed.
He actually goes to the counter and they're like, "I'm so sorry, but there's no animals allowed." And he actually gets up and he's like, I want to speak to your manager. And I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. But
He's just super serious, badass warrior. He's like, no, hey, I want to play the game. He has like this gravelly voice. Like,
just hearing Red in his gravely voice say, "I want to speak to your manager." Freaking priceless, absolutely priceless. So then you get to the part where you face off a Genova,
not Geneva.
Geneva, excuse me, Genova offshoot, just messing with Cloud's mind.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Oh, you get a lot of that.
Yeah. Damn, excuse me. I think I caught some of your gas.
Oh, really?
But I did finish.
Oh, you're on seltzer water, so that's why.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's why. But Final Fantasy is fun. I intend to finish it through to the end. And I put out a challenge to you, Jesse. Mm-hmm. We talked about it off camera yesterday, but you're gonna pick the next game for me to play and finish.
Oh, I already know what it is.
You already know what it is?
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. I think I know what it is too.
Okay.
And I'm starting from, if it is what I'm thinking, I'm starting from the beginning.
Okay, fair enough. You're not far in anyways.
Yeah, wait. But no, actually, now I'm not sure what game you're thinking.
Okay. Well, it's one of two. Well, which one of those two I think is what you're thinking, but I have another one in mind.
Okay, yeah. Well, honestly, either way, I'm gonna start from the beginning because of those two games, I'm like 99% sure it's a game I haven't touched in a while, so I have to start from the beginning anyway to just relearn everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, so and that's been pretty much it. What about you? I see you have been playing Ninja Gaiden Black a lot.
What I was doing, I was more dicking around the mods for it because there's been
They got mods?
Yeah, they got mods for it. Not many. I mean, the modding scene's kind of modest for what it is. But what pretty much what it is like the first mod that I put in was just to improve like the performance and stuff of the game because there's like input lag and like stutters and stuff. So like it's a little iffy at times. I never got stutters, but I did notice like some input lag and the game feeling kind of a little sluggish. That definitely improved it a lot. But the other one was a mod. I don't remember what it was called, but it was a mod that's been ported over from the Sigma collection. So Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, which I know we talked about last episode when we were talking about Black, right? Sigma 2 was a heavily altered version of the original Ninja Gaiden 2. And part of those changes that they made for Sigma 2 was that they reduced the enemy count by about half, but they also increased the enemy health by like 50%. They also like increased how much damage to do to their body parts to actually like dismember them, so you can actually go for executions. Well, what the mod does is that it reverses that, and what the Black mod that I have in currently is pretty much an altered version of that mod that pretty much fixes Sigma 2. So now enemies are like easier to delimb, they're less squishy, but there's a lot more of them. There's more of them. Not by much though. It's still like less than like what it is in original Ninja Gaiden, because Ninja Gaiden is fucking insane. Like how many they fucking throw at you at once. Yes. But it's definitely more. And then the other ones I threw like some visual mods. Like I got a Ryu, like a white costume, and I got him like a white sword and stuff. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Like there really isn't that many mods for it. You just I got a mod loader, performance enhancer, and then those gameplay changes that I installed. But I was playing another Ninja game that I was kind of losing my mind on over the weekend because it's from a series that I have played before in the past on the PS2, and I don't know if I've ever talked about it here, but it is Shinobi, but this one is Shinobi 3, which is a Sega Genesis classic. It is a platformer, side-scrolling platformer with hack and slash and all that stuff. And it's a pretty fun game, but just like the PS2 game, it fucking sucks balls when you reach like the last two levels, because it's like, what is this? Like, what? So this is like the first level of the game, and it's relatively easy and it's really fun, right? It's a really good game otherwise outside those first two levels. Like it controls pretty well for the most part.
What's that guy doing?
He's just fucking styling on him. He's doing his fox wave dashing. Hiya! Right?
That's funny.
So it's a really fun game. It has great soundtrack. It has, obviously, like you can see, it has really good pixel art, good animations. The levels are pretty well designed. Until you reach the last two fucking levels. Like, so the problem is that the game controls fine for the most part until it asks you to start platforming. Because the wall jumping is shit. Like, it's absolute shit. And then the double jumping is even more shit, right? So, James, let me ask you, right? In a game where you double jump,
Go ahead.
right? When you jump, when you double jump, right? When can you jump again?
Well, I mean, right afterwards, no?
Anytime you want, right?
Yeah.
Not in Shinobi 3, right? No, not in Shinobi 3. No, they gotta be special, bro. They gotta add a get good mentality to it. So what you have to do is you have to wait till you get to the apex of your jump, and only at the apex of your jump, before you can double jump again. So it's not like, like, this is a platform, right? Like, literally any other game with double jump would have been like, and then you can, like, double jump again, right? But no, in Ninja Gaiden, in Shinobi, it's like, you have to wait to get to the top of it. And even then, like, you kind of have to wait till, like, he starts falling, and then you can do it. So it's a very tight window to when you can double jump. And when you get to the end of the game, yeah?
So sometimes when you try to double jump, it just eats your input if you don't time it
right. Yeah, it just nothing happens. You just eat shit, pretty much.
That's awful.
The last two levels is littered with death pits. There are so many fucking death pits. There is one level that's super cool. That's like, it's falling debris. And, like, you have to, like, keep jumping your way up while finding the enemies. And it's cool at first until you start double jumping. And then it's like, oh, fuck, okay. Great. So I died, like, 1,000,000 times in that level. And then the last level is insane because it's electric fences, like, everywhere. So, like, you have to jump and, like, time your jump to, like, avoid the electric fence so you can get to the other side perfectly fine, right? Mm-hmm. But it's so needlessly strict for that. If you don't position yourself properly to set up so that the double jump is perfectly, like, over, like, you just eat shit. You will get hit by the electric fence, you'll fall over, and then, like, you'll fall into a death pit.
Oh, I see.
And then there are sequences where you have to wall jump, and then you can do the double jump over. You have to double jump over, right?
Oh.
Later on, though, I kind of figured out that I can kind of just, like, instead of double jumping, I can just hold the direction I want to go in, and when he double jumps, when he wall jumps, he'll actually go a little further. So they make it a little bit easier, but still, like, it's really finicky because he's a big boy, right? He kind of covers up a good chunk of the screen.
Yeah.
So, like, you get the you
cool
hit it.
Right?
Yeah, that's almost actually super cool, right? This is the beginning of the game still. This is only the second level. It's really cool. At the time, this was, like, revolutionary. People were like, oh shit, losing their minds over this because it came out in 93.
Well, the Sega Genesis did a lot as far as like processing power. It actually was considered, like you said, revolutionary.
Well, it is cool to see. Like, this is a really cool level. I really enjoyed it. And then later on, like, there's a level, like, where you're, like, on a surfboard. you're like on a hoverboard, and that's the boss fight level. And it's very similar to the horse level, but, like, obviously, like, you're fighting, like, the mech now. Like, this is the boss for that level. It's really cool. It definitely took me a few tries, kind of challenging, but it was still, like, it felt rewarding until I get to the last two levels. I'm like, okay, this is bullshit. Like, come on, guys, you get to.
Well, it expects you to be a professional at that point. They're like, oh, you've made it all the way to the end. Surely you must be a glutton for points.
Okay, I don't mind that, bro. Getting good and all that, I'm all for that. But, like, if you want to be that hard, your controls better be fucking top tier. You better control, like, pristine art. Which is also a problem I had with Ninja Gaiden on Mentor difficulty, which is a very hard difficulty. Like, the game is just too jank to be as hard as it is, because it's like the camera is absolute shit. You're gonna get grabbed from off screen because, like, you can't see the enemy. Sometimes your inputs will just get eaten. Even with, like, the performance enhancer, like, sometimes my inputs just don't come out.
Yeah, well, funny you talked about padding. We were talking about Final Fantasy, but that was their version of padding. Just make things obscenely hard with bad controls, and that apparently, that extended the game time. The amount of time you would play the game.
Yeah, because the game's only, like, if you're good at it, right? If you're, like, a master at it, you could beat it in an hour. It took me, like, 5 or 6 hours to beat it, because, like, and, like, 4 of those hours were spent at just the last 2 levels. I kept fucking dying over and over again to fucking death pits because the jump controls fucking suck.
Yeah, bro. Classic SNES and Sega Genesis era horse shit.
So yeah, that was their way of justifying the price point. It's like, all right, kid, you're gonna give us your $50. Don't worry, you're gonna have tons of hours of playtime. You're gonna spend like 90% of those hours in the last 2 levels fucking dying to bullshit controls. Besides all that, how about we get into some news?
Yeah, bro. Let's get in it.
Yeah. So why don't you walk us through our first set of news?
Absolutely, with pleasure. Oh, there we go. All right. So as you mentioned in the beginning, we're big fans of video game preservation on this channel. We believe that video games have a rightful place in history, and well, it's near and dear to our lives. So, what the Video Game History Foundation has done is it's officially launched its massive digital library. So, I think we've covered them before on this channel, have we not, Justin?
Yes, we have. They were trying to get some their hands on like some emulations, and they got shot down by a court.
Yes.
It was bullshit.
Yeah, no, of course it was bullshit. But what is cool though is, they've been toiling away at this since 2017, cataloging and digitizing an absolute massive archive of games, which is now culminated in the Video Game History Library, which is freely available to everybody. The long-term goal is to build and maintain the country's first dedicated library to the study of video game history. The team employs the same tools used by academic libraries and museums and appear to have built the Video Game History Library with detailed metadata, a robust search system, and the ability to view every form of media in your browser. This brings happiness to my heart. Because,
open up.
Yeah, what to open up?
The fucking, I'm looking at a magazine here. I can't find where to click on it.
Well, it just came out. There's going to be some bugs, obviously, but
it's not a bug. Nice there's no button.
There's no button. Oh,
not that I can find it, at least.
We'll have to. Oh,
I don't know what this is. I'm just looking through it, but it's archive.gamehistory.org.
Yes, which actually we'll leave the link down below at the end of the episode.
Yes, we should probably do that.
And what's cool is it's not just video games that they preserve, but also video game memorabilia and media. Like, for example, they have the first issue of Game Informer magazine, and they have collected more than 25 terabytes of the publication's history. Game Informer, as you know, shut down in 2024 after being open for 30 years. And has had nothing but some of the coolest artwork you'll ever see on a video game. Like, man, I know we've talked about it before, but Game Informer was the it magazine for game lovers, and that's how we would find out what games would come out.
Wow, this is it. Yep. Sonic Fall Issue 1991. Holy shit. Yeah, they have everything. Oh my god.
Wow, dude. What?
Holy shit.
1991. You said? Whoa! Go back. The Game Boy Light.
Yeah,
I had that.
Yeah, I didn't have that. I had to fucking strain my eyes to street lights.
Yeah, I actually. So I had the I think the Gen 2 model, the one that came with the Game Boy Color.
Oh, see, I never got a Game Boy Color. My mom was one of those. Like, what's the difference? No, you have a Game Boy. I'm not spending money on that. Like, no, mom, it's a different system. You understand?
No, actually, it came with a light and also with a magnifying glass. It was hot, and as you can see, oh wow, $32 for games, Jesus!
Send us your used games and receive up to $32 per game. Oh, that's just not that bad. I mean, games back then were still like $80, but still, that's a good chunk.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's better than the fucking,
GameStop.
Pennies. yeah, it's the fucking. Oh, look, all the Genesis titles.
Oh, wow. We pay you $24. We sell used $44. Oh, what was this? You can sell stuff as just Sega and they'll just give you... Okay, interesting.
Wow, that's actually not a bad idea. Sell straight to the manufacturer or the developer.
Yeah, see Revenge of the Shinobi right here? Right, that's like the first or second one, I think. Shadow Dancer, that's like another Shinobi game. Yeah, Shinobi 3 didn't come out till 93, so it's not going to be here. Strider, Streets of Rage. Oh man, Streets of Rage 2 is fucking awesome. That's also on the Sega Genesis collection, which is what I played Shinobi on. That's what I was playing all those Sega Genesis games on.
Yeah, of course.
And then Golden Axe 2, Golden Axe. Ah, okay, cool. Very,
Oh,
very
that's
cool.
amazing. But not just Game Informer magazine, they also have 1,500 out of print issues of other video games magazines, including the official Dreamcast magazine. I don't know if you can find it on there and pull it up, but they got everything.
Let's see.
They,
Dreamcast. Official Dreamcast magazine.
there it is.
Man, back when Dreamcast was still around, when Sega was still in the console business.
The Dreamcast, I think, was their last.
Yes, it was. It was. It was. Unfortunately, though, the PS2 kind of ate its lunch, and then Sega pulled out, which is kind of a shame because, like, I know, like, this is a well beloved console.
It is, but when you can, yeah, but then the PlayStation really was that step forward because they could just do so much more with CDs.
Well, the Dreamcast
than
also
the
used CDs too.
Yeah,
And it was more powerful from the PS1, much more powerful from the PS1, but less power from the PS2, which came out like a year or two after this.
Yeah.
Really cool, dude.
I think it also had the
Ooh,
misfortune.
okay. All right, some DOA.
Whoa,
Here you go.
whoa, pause.
Hey.
Whatever happened to the Dead or Alive series?
Dead or Alive 6 killed it pretty much.
Really?
Yeah. We can go over it later. We don't have time to discuss it. But DO6 killed it pretty much. Although it has been rumored that it is being rebooted alongside Ninja Gaiden. Hey, we have Ninja Gaiden 4 coming out, so hey, maybe there's hope for you Gooners out there. Your DOA 7.
You mean
Your Gooner Alive 7 will be almost coming out.
Come on, man. They have their audience. They know their audience.
All right. So, anything else?
So access to the library is free. However, they do function off of donations. I will actually be looking for a way to donate money to them because, well, I mean, I don't really donate to many charities or many organizations, but this is something near and dear to my heart, so I will be sending a good chunk of change their way because I think what they're doing is very good. Video games have a place in our history, especially nowadays that gaming is becoming mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important to see where our roots are from, especially now, and especially with the way developers are making games now. They really need to return to roots so that we can have more sustainable gaming for the future. Sorry, that's the end of that.
Okay. All right, no, that's a good note to end it on.
Yeah.
So, moving on to our next story.
Speaking of modern gaming,
Speaking of modern gaming and things near and dear to my heart, sometimes near and dear to my heart, other times like fuck you.
well, you know what?
Today it might be in my heart though.
It's always the one. It's always the ones we love that causes the most pain.
Yes, and this one's caused a lot of pain. But
oh my god, so much pain.
So much pain. And then the new girl comes and you're like, oh, your baby, you're everything I could have ever wanted. And they're just you just whisper sweet nothings in your ear while you still trying to get over your ex. And the ex in question here is Overwatch, specifically Overwatch 2, like the sequel to Overwatch. Except now it actually might be Overwatch 2 because with the Overwatch Spotlight that was revealed yesterday, it seems that Blizzard, Team 4 over at Blizzard, revealed that they were going to make some big game play altering changes to it. It was a really pretty big showcase, about 30 minutes long, where they went over a ton of different things. So namely, actually, let me see if I can, let me get the well, I can't pull up the roadmap, but I can't talk about the roadmap real quick. Yeah, so I can't show the roadmap, but what they showed off was, well, the biggest thing that they showed off was the new mechanic that you're going to be introducing in Season 15, and that will be perks. And so what it is that, so how it works is that as you play throughout the match and like you get kills and you heal and like contact the objective and stuff, you're going to be earning XP. And when you earn enough XP, your character will level up and then you'll gain a perk. You'll first gain a minor perk and then a major perk. And this can have a ton of changes to how you play. So like Ana, for example, right, your favorite character, she can now headshot. And she also has another perk that lets her I forgot what, her Bionade bounce.
Yes.
So it can actually like bounce off walls. It can bounce off targets. So like you can hit multiple times.
That's cool.
So there's actually a complete list here of all the perks that they will be having. Just so go over Ana. Yeah. So she'll have, and she also nano boost herself as well. So
Honestly, I think that's an overdue feature because sometimes you can use the boost to save yourself, kind of like how you nade yourself to heal, which isn't really much of a factor now because the healers have the self healing. But
yeah, well, now you can heal yourself and maybe even someone else because now it bounces around. But to continue off of that, so perks are going to be like the big new feature that's obviously going to like really change the way the game is played because, like for starters, it's going to really hopefully curb on counter swapping, which has been a big problem ever since the release of Overwatch 2 because of the 5v5 format, and the super tanks pretty much incentivizing you to counter swap because if not, then the tank's just going to take over the game. But it also adds like interesting new dynamics to like your characters and like compositions that you can include. Like for example, Sombra can heal her teammates. Actually, she can hack her teammates and they'll actually heal them. So she turns into like kind of like a off healer DPS hybrid. I can't think of like any other ones off the top of my head. They're like really like like that, like where they kind of like blur the lines between like what roles are, but they all seem to be like pretty interesting.
Well, I mean, Soldier 76 technically with his...
Oh, yes, I think there is one that alters that, but I don't know what it is right now. But the other mode, they're also going to introduce a new mode called Stadium. And it's going to be a completely separate mode. It's going to be separate from Quick Play, going to be separate from competitive. It's going to be its own thing. And what this is pretty much is pretty much the PvE we lost. Because I can't really show it right now because I didn't bring it up. But essentially how it works is that it's a 7-round mode where you try and fight over the objective, or like I think it's just King of the Hill. But the thing is with it is that just like in the perk system, you're going to be leveling up, or actually rather you're going to be earning credits, and then you can spend those credits on skill trees. So like you can actually like have builds, like you can get abilities that like change properties of your character, right? So like Reinhardt, for example, like if he uses his fire strike, it'll leave behind like a trail of lava for it, or like it'll give him like a third charge that he could use. So like as you can see, like that's gonna like obviously change the way drastically. And in this case, right, it's gonna be even more game altering because there's multiple of these. Like if you see the screen of it, I don't know if you ever saw it, but like it's fucking huge. Like it's very like it's like a MOBA. Like you should have just looking like at a MOBA like level up screen.
Yeah. I have seen it.
You have seen it. Okay, so like you see, like it looks kind of complex. Like, oh shit, there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, well, it's like you said, this is what they. Oh my God, this is what I remember them showing, just like a little bit of it way back when, like before COVID, when Overwatch 2 was first announced. Oh no, wait, Overwatch 2.
It was announced. Overwatch was announced in 2019. I remember I went to your house like in 2021, and we saw it together.
Right here, right here at this very desk.
The memories.
That was such a long time ago.
We were hopeful back then.
Dude, we were like, oh my God, skill trees. Look at all these skills. We can customize each hero. And literally everything was just scrapped. But it looks like they're going to take those systems and try to make something new out of it. Which, if I'm being honest with you, is actually it's very in the vein of Overwatch. Because as you know, Overwatch was originally another game, Project Titan, I believe.
Yeah, it was an MMO at first.
It was meant to be an MMO called Project Titan, and then Jeff was like, I do not like the way this game is going, and he just scrapped everything and ended up using all the assets to make something completely new. It's in the vein of Overwatch. They're not getting rid of it. It sounds like they are going to take the systems that they were developing and try to make something out of it, which honestly it's hopeful, because hopefully they will take the game seriously again, and they'll start putting out more consistent updates for content, because I really hope that Marvel Rivals lit a necessary fire under these guys' asses, because it looks like they're bringing it all out now. Like they're really trying. Even as going, well, we'll talk about it in a bit, but even going as so far as to bring back old mechanics. Let's just say.
Yeah. But one interesting to know before we move on with like what they showed the spotlight is that they were actually kind of testing these things little by little, because it's something like Overwatch has always kind of done as well. Like you remember the archive missions, right? Like our like we always thought like, oh, like this is like them testing the waters for like PvE, and then later on they announced that they were going to do like a full PvE game, which is what Overwatch 2 was originally going to be. Well, with this case, with the stadium in particular, they were kind of testing this out with. I know you didn't play because like you and I were kind of off the Overwatch 2 wagon at that point, but like during the Halloween event, they had something called Junkenstein's Laboratory, and it was pretty much like this. Like it was much more limited, of course. Like not as many heroes had as many skills, and the maps were a bit more limited. But
wait, I think we did play.
No, we did not play. We never did. No. Not the zombie one. It was a new one.
No, yeah, the new one. It where the hog was like
no. This is completely different. It was PvP. It was just PvP.
Oh, okay.
It was just PvP. It was 5v5. It was all King of the Hill maps. And
I did not. No, sorry, I was mistaken.
And it was pretty much the same system. Like you had currencies, you could buy passives, and then you can buy like new abilities that you could use. And then and it was round based as well, just like Stadium. So clearly they were using this like as an excuse to like test this out, see if people liked it.
I played something like that.
We played freeze tag.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't freeze tag. No, I remember it was round based, and yeah, we. Oh no, I think what we played was a workshop mode game. I don't think it was.
Oh yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, okay, all right. I think that's what it was because we played something that used the Junkenstein, and it was like a round base. It was kind of like horde mode, and we had to.
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, no, that was a workshop,
and we had to we had to stop the Roadhog from getting revived.
Yes, that was a workshop.
That was a workshop.
That was a workshop.
All right, I'm not crazy.
Okay, but this wasn't official mode, and it's nothing like how you explained it. Well, I mean, I guess there was a currency system, but like it was pretty much Nazi zombies, pretty much what we played, versus this, which is like a MOBA. Like it was just as a MOBA. It's just, except you don't have like creeps and stuff, but you still get currency and like you get items essentially that like alter your play style and stuff. And it was really well received at the time. So this is them like just applying it to the whole game.
Yeah, or just expanding on it rather, because this screenshot of Ana nanoing 3 players at once, I think will expand her effectiveness.
Mm-hmm. But it is a separate mode, so like don't. It's enjoying the side, which I think will be a lot of fun.
It's something new. It's something new that it's actually interesting. Like yes.
And then among those interesting things, they also showed off the new damage hero who will be coming in season 16, and her name is Freya. And they also showed off another hero whose by name is Aqua. I'll show him in a little bit, but talking about Freya specifically, right? Because we got to see her like in full, right? She is a Danish bounty hunter who's actually used to be a former Overwatch member, and she is actually on the search and rescue division of Overwatch. That's like her lore. And then, after they disbanded, she went to Denmark and she became a bounty hunter. And her whole thing is like she has a crossbow. She also has like a double jump and like a glide, so she can like hover in the air. And then she has explosive rounds that she can fire as well.
And she's a redhead.
Yes, I know. Okay. And then, speaking of those old mechanics coming back, loot boxes are back. we've come full circle, just like you said yesterday. It's amazing how we've come full circle, man. It's like it never should have fucking left in the first place. But yeah, now we have loot boxes are going to be coming back, which means that there's going to be ostensibly a new way to earn in-game items, because Overwatch 2 is kind of like an infamously stingy game. With its coin system, the coin system, like it could work, but they're very stingy with it. You can only get 600 coins per season from the battle pass, and like we kind of did the math. I don't know if we did it here.
We did. We did.
We
Actually,
did it
no. Someone else did the math. We looked up an article, and someone did the math, and it said in the thousands of hours, it literally would take thousands of hours to complete a battle pass, and we covered it too.
No, not a battle pass. It won't take $1,000. The battle pass is quick to get. It's the coins that's the problem.
No, the coins. No.
The battle pass is quick. That's easy actually.
My mistake. I meant the Overwatch coins, because you got to do the challenges, which are 3 a week, and once you finish the week, it gave you what?
Well, they changed it. Now you get it through the battle pass.
Well, this was before,
and it still sucks even with the battle pass.
Yeah, but it sucks. It sucks even with the improvements that they've made.
It sucks with the improvements, though.
But even with the loot boxes from Overwatch 1, I felt like it was way easier to get skins, because every time you get a skin you already have, it would just convert it to the currency, and then you could just go in and buy it. And really the only skins that were locked were either event skins that happened once and never came back again, which they gave you a chance to earn right before Overwatch 2 came out, or they were locked behind a season. So, the Halloween costumes you can only buy during Halloween, and the winter costumes you can only buy during the winter, and also the archive costumes you can only buy during the archive season. And the same goes for Chinese New Year and so on and so forth. So I found that to be way better because it tied each skin to a season. And at some point, you just start racking up the currency to buy a lot of the skins. But with this, I feel like I really can only buy one or two every couple months, unless
Pretty much.
unless I shell out the cash, which, it sucks. Regardless of it being a free to play model or a game that you pay for outright, the battle pass. I mean, we've railed against these battle passes. They blow. They're so awful. There's such hot garbage, and it's really just for them to milk the money. So, I mean, yeah, I'm excited that loot boxes are coming back, but it's loot boxes plus the battle pass, and I'm kind of scared about that.
But moving on, we got of course, new cosmetics, right? New season, Overwatch, new costumes, and of course, with new costumes, new fucking Kiri costume, because God forbid we have a single season where Kiri doesn't get a new fucking costume. So we have that. We also have May, May, Mercy, right? Because God forbid, Mercy doesn't get a skin every fucking season. But more specifically, Mythic skin is actually going to be Zenyatta this time, and his Mythic skins actually looks kind of cool. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I probably should have had this up.
I have not seen it, so this will be my first.
Yeah, it looks kind of cool. It's not like the coolest around, but it is pretty cool. I forgot what it was called, some weird word for it, but yeah, here it is.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you see, it definitely looks like a cool skin, and like with a new Mythic skin comes Piju. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Piju. It's Chinese, so it probably has some weird ass pronunciation to it. But like the effects are really cool. Like when you reload, there's like a special effect for it. Like you'll see, like the orb will have the actual yin yang sign, and it'll glow like brighter than usual. And then when you do your transcendence, like there's gonna be like a cloud effect that like appears around you as well.
Ooh.
And then of course cool. You have like all the different custom colors you can put. Like the red, it looks really cool in red. You have to look it up later, like when it's in red. And then they also revealed that there's going to be other Mythic skins in the future. For two characters I play, they revealed that there's going to be one for Juno, who is probably my favorite support character. They're going to have one for her, which is a Magic Girl themed skin. And then the other one is Diva, which, goddamn, Blizzard's really trying to fucking... First it was Reinhardt. It's like, oh god, no, I don't want to spend money this season. I saw that Reinhardt skin. They had like a Norse mythology themed one this season, and he had a Thor skin. Looked really sick. I'm like, fuck. Okay, I guess I'll fucking play. Give you money. and now Diva and Juno's like, oh fuck. Okay, because you guys got me by the ball. Zen to an extent. Yeah, I do play quite a bit of Zen. And then they also revealed something really huge for me, man, because it's something I've wanted for such a long time, and really the whole player base has wanted for such a long time. But they gave me not one, but two things that I've been fucking begging for so long, and that is hero bands, thank God, and map voting. Like they went the extra mile with that, which is amazing that they went with map voting. But that will be coming in season 16. After season 15, which is where all the big changes are going to be coming. So I'm guessing they want to see how everything pans out with season 15 with the perk system and shit before they implement the ban system. But what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say I don't think I've played a game with map voting since Modern Warfare 2. Like that's how long it's been.
Didn't Halo have map voting? Or Gears? I think Halo and Gears had map voting too.
Well, those games all came out at the same time. Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare, Gears, so. Halo. Yeah, like those games. But specifically Modern Warfare was the last
one. From that era.
From that era. And honestly, I thought map voting was like like something that was just forgotten to time, but they're bringing it back, baby.
Oh man,
Bringing
can you imagine skipping Havana? Just skip Havana, skip Circuit Royale, skip those Flashpoint maps. I don't like Flashpoint. Oh yeah, they also said they're taking Clash out of competitive, which is interesting. It'll still be in quick play. I actually kind of liked Clash, but it definitely sucked. Like when you get to the spawn door and it's like, okay, this sucks. But I still found it to be a fun board for the most part. And then they also announced reworked maps and new maps coming along too. They're actually going to rework those Flashpoint maps that I've been talking about, which is great because I don't like those maps at all.
Yes.
What were you going to say? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No. That's exactly what I was going to say because you were complaining about the Flashpoint, but literally in the next paragraph it talked about the reworks. But excuse me. But they've also been reworking a few maps that still haven't come out yet. Have they ever brought back Paris or Temple of Anubis?
Anubis pretty much got changed to Clash. Remember that deserty?
Okay.
It's pretty much Anubis. They just took Anubis and just reworked it.
Well, dude, I missed out on a lot. So I didn't even know that Clash was the rework of Anubis.
Pretty much. It pretty much is. And then the other hero. So very quickly before we move on to our next story, the other hero's name is Aqua, and he's supposed to be Chinese waterbender, pretty much, because that was what not what they said, but like you can see here, bro. He definitely looks he's a waterbender. He said he's a water-based hero, and they said that what they're gonna do with him, particularly with his primary fire, is something that hasn't really been done at all Overwatch. They said they're something that's really unique, and they're really excited to show it. But he definitely looks like he could be kind of cool. He definitely looks kind of supportish. I feel like he might be a support hero. And given we're getting a damage hero already, I think it's safe to say that he might be a support hero. I'd be very shocked to do 2 damage heroes in the same year.
Well, water is known for being a very heal centric, element, heal centric weapon, whatever you want to call it. But dude, he looks like if Sokka was the waterbender, like someone
Sokka
timelines, and Sokka ended up being the waterbender instead of
Katara. Yeah, know your avatar names, bro.
What?
Yeah, I know your avatar names.
Yeah, it says Sokka and Katara.
Yeah, well, you forgot it for a second.
Well, yeah, for a second, dude. I haven't seen the show in forever. I could have also could have said something more recent, and he just looks like male Korra.
Oh god, okay. Look at the life grip perks. What? Life grip cleanses negative effects. Great. That's what I need. While alive,
is at it again.
While alive, regenerate 10 health per second. I guess it's constant. Upon death, drop a healing seed that heals. Oh my god, it's gonna be even more impossible to kill. Fucking hell.
Well, wait a minute. No, hasn't he always done that? I remember that being a thing when we played like 1,000 years ago.
While alive, regenerate 10. No. Oh, the seed thing. Oh, the seed. They dropped that immediately because he was so ass, and like half the time he would die, and they would just heal the enemy because they used to heal both allies and enemies for some reason.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, anyone can pick it up.
Oh, that sucks. I thought it.
Yeah, they moved that almost immediately.
Why did they think that was a good idea?
I have no clue. Major perks: Life Weaving rejuvenates, adds 20 healing to your next healing blossom within 3 seconds.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Okay. Thorns detonate for 30 damage when enough stick within 1.5. Oh, that sounds cool. That's something I always wanted for him.
Halo Needler. Halo Needler. Hell yeah. I'm actually down for that. Listen, man, I know that you have your problems, but I actually really enjoy playing.
Okay. But the perk system, I'll be like, okay, you can do this. We'll be bullshit around for the most part anyways, like when the perks, because no one's going to know what the hell's happening, right? No one's going to know what they're doing. So I'm not going to be like, all right, you guys have to stop playing like assholes. Like, all right, fine, because everyone's going to play like an asshole.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, well, speaking of assholes, we have the assholes over at Xbox, or Xbox sales, has been going down. You want to talk about that? Tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Our poor boys at Microsoft, poor Phil, throwing a whole bunch of money down the toilet. So, Xbox Q2 hardware sales are down 29% as Game Pass experiences record growth, which technically speaking is a good thing because, Game Pass experiences the record growth, but the hardware sales are down. But as we know, there's gonna get to a point where you can't recruit more people to Game Pass. So Microsoft has released its financial results for Q2, which showed that they had a revenue of $69.6 billion up.
I didn't even notice.
Up. I saw the number and I was like, prepare for nice. So, but anyway, 69.6 billion, which is up 12% year on year. They've actually had a revenue of 14.7 billion in their personal computing revenue. Operating income has been up 10% at 31.7, and net income is 24.1 billion. So all in all, they've actually experienced a positive quarter, which has actually been driven by its AI business, which saw a whopping 175% increase, and has surpassed an annual revenue rate of $13 billion. So they're really raking in the cash with AI. In the earnings call, everyone's favorite, gaming expert Satya Nadella shared that the Xbox Game Pass has set a new record where specifically the PC subscriber base has been growing by over 30%. Shame on you, PC users. Shame on you.
It's a hard deal to pass up.
Yeah.
I think it's cheaper on PC too, so it's a hard deal to pass up. It is. Yes.
Is it cheap?
Yeah, cheaper on PC.
Oh shit. I did not know that. Well, that 30% makes a lot of sense now. And Nadella also revealed that 140 million hours were streamed on Xbox Cloud Gaming during the quarter. And he also noted that Indiana Jones has been played by more than 4 million people since it launched on December 9th. Apparently it's a good game. I don't know. It just didn't look that appealing to me. It looks kind of, I don't know, it looks kind of cookie cutter, Like they probably went with a safe. Bro, they didn't do anything special. They just, did essentially Uncharted, but in first person.
Actually, no, it's not. Nope, not.
What?
It's like sandboxy. It has like quests and stuff. Yeah, it's like the very open-ended levels. It has like quests and stuff that you can do. A lot of side missions, a lot of secrets you can find and explore around. So no, it's definitely not Uncharted, which is supposed to fear a lot of people have. Oh, it's just gonna be first person Uncharted. No, it's not that. It really is like. It's a good indie game that really captures the spirit of indie. Everyone says.
Then I take back everything I said, and I actually might pick it up on sale. So they also said Microsoft is delivering on its plan of improving the profitability of the business by providing higher margin.
Business. All right, sorry, keep going.
By providing higher margin content and platform services. They expect the Xbox content and services revenue to increase in the low to mid single digits for Q3, driven by first-party content and Xbox Game Pass, which is weird considering what first-party content are they talking about?
Yeah, right. What is first-party content anymore?
The second point makes sense. Like they're depending on Xbox Game Pass, which everyone knows. But I don't think they have any first party content. Especially like games like Halo are rumored to be coming. Actually, no, not rumored. Is it confirmed?
No. They've been. There's always been reports of like internally they're always discussing like, hey, should we put Halo on PlayStation or not?
Okay, but it hasn't. It's not official.
It's never been confirmed. Phil's been pussyfooting around it the whole time. Like, oh yeah, we're not against it, but like we haven't really like confirmed it yet. Pretty much. He says, bro, just shut up. Just put it on PlayStation. We all know you're gonna fucking do it.
Yeah, you want to make that money.
And at that point, you could pretty much say like, yeah, Microsoft first party is dead.
Yeah, Microsoft first party is dead. So I'm not sure what exactly they mean by a Q3 driven by first party content. But also, like I said, they're making money everywhere else. Microsoft, with its AI alone, as you saw, was up 175% in profits. So they really just don't give a fuck about their game side.
Well, they don't care about their consoles and like trying to build.
Yeah, no,
they just want subscribers and they just want people to buy Microsoft published games, which is probably what they mean by first party. It's just stuff published by them. Because Ninja Gaiden 4 is being published by them, so I guess, not really, but
but they're not counting on people actually buying the game. They're They're planning on people playing it through the Game Pass, so they're not owning anything. They're trying they're trying to fill their catalog to make it enticing for people to buy into the subscription. Because one guy will buy an Xbox Game Pass subscription for Ninja Gaiden, another person will buy it just for Halo, or another person will buy the Game Pass subscription for Redfall. But it happens. But
I don't think Redfall's even there anymore.
yeah, but the point still stands. But yeah, dude, Game Pass is cool, but it's not sustainable. But I don't think they give a shit because they're making money hand over fist in literally every other sector across the business. That I feel like they're just pissing money away, or really just throwing money at the wall in terms of their gaming division.
All they care about now is probably just getting back that 69 billion they spent on Activision Blizzard as fast as possible, so they can look good to their investors like when the quarterlies come up, because that's how they think. It's just quarterlies.
Yeah, and actually, I think they also had a game release just recently that I believe was also published by Xbox. What's that game? It's the one made by Obsidian.
Oh, Avowed. Yeah, it hasn't come out.
Yeah,
I think it came out early access. I think it comes out early access tomorrow, but the reviews have come out.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I saw the reviews, so I thought it came out already.
Yeah. Well, they own Obsidian, so
yeah, exactly. Would you consider that a first party game?
I guess like just anything owned by them or being published by them, I guess is what they consider first party.
Yeah. Well, I know that Avowed is essentially Obsidian's take on the Elder Scrolls.
It's more like Outer Worlds, just medieval. It's not like this big open world. It's more like just sandbox levels. That's how Outer Worlds was. It was like zones. It was like big open zones that you could explore, but it wasn't a big interconnected world.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Well, we'll see. I haven't looked at the reviews for Avowed. I don't know if you've heard if it's good or not, but
some people say it's good. Some people say it's okay. It's Metacritic. It's got a pretty good score. It's just out of the reviews that I've seen, like the people I look at, like they said, like it's okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which is kind of a shame because like I like Obsidian and it looked like a cool game, but I mean, I'm still not against like playing it. But now I'm like, maybe I can wait. We can wait for a little bit.
Get it on sale, or if there's a Game Pass deal,
or it's a Game Pass deal. No, we could.
There's nothing much more to add to that. Oh, I mean, well, they actually rose 2% due to stronger than expected performance in Activision Blizzard content. So their deal that they made with Activision Blizzard is paying off for sure.
Oh yeah, because Call of Duty, bro. That's why.
Yeah, obviously.
Call of Duty. I imagine that 30% like Game Pass growth was probably a large part due to Call of Duty. I'm sure. Like Call of Duty's gonna bump numbers up like crazy.
Yeah,
everyone, their mother plays Call of Duty, bro. It's the FIFA of first person shooters. Everyone buys it every year. Everyone plays it.
It's actually not a bad moniker. The FIFA of first person shooters.
It's the FIFA Madden of first person shooters. Yeah, everyone gets one every year.
That's funny.
And they'll go online bitch and moan about how much it sucks, and next year they'll buy the next one. The cycle continues.
Vicious cycle.
But you know what else is a vicious cycle?
Tell me.
Is WB and their shitty decision making has now it seems that with WB the chickens have come home to roost. So, quick reminder here that WB has been having a rough year, and it started all with Suicide Squad losing $200 million. As reported back in June,
which we did report.
Which we did report on.
Yeah,
we did report on that. And then after that, Multiverses lost Warner Brothers another $100 million in revenue as that game also failed. Now these are two live service games, mind you, that failed in spectacular style, even though WB in their meeting calls have been like, oh, we're going to double down on our live service games. Well, with all this going on, we now have another development with Warner Brothers going to hell. Well, it's kind of two-parter here. The first part is how Multiverses itself is going to be shutting down, and it is going to be entering its final season, Season 5, where it will be shutting down after it ends on May 30th. And as of this recording, all purchases have been disabled. But according to their Twitter account, you can't play the game offline for the foreseeable future. It just sounds very nebulous, to say the least.
Oh boy.
However, you must log in before May 30th. So Multiverses itself, it's not surprising that it's closing down, given how tumultuous the development cycle of it was. Like, it was a game that first opened up in beta, right? Beta. They were still selling shit, but it was in beta, right? And it was opened up to like 150,000 players on the Steam metrics, probably even more like on consoles. And it was, kind of caught the world on fire, caught the fighting game world on fire. Everyone was really liking it, and they saw a ton of potential into it. But they couldn't be keeping up with demand, because a lot of people were like, hey, man, where's the content to this game? And they're like, we're only like 15 people, man. We can't do this. We can't keep up with this. So they decided to shutter the game down, and they said, hey, we're going to relaunch it later on. It's going to be bigger and better. And then it came out again. And then it was shit. The gameplay was absolutely borked. It was very slow, significantly slower than what it was before. It was riddled with incredibly greedy microtransactions and a terrible grind wall that locked every character behind a terrible grind fest. And it made it just really hard to earn the characters that you wanted. And a lot of cool characters, by the way. We had Agent freaking Smith and Samurai Jack and the Powerpuff Girls and Raven, who looked freaking awesome. Like, she looked like the coolest she ever looked, like in anything.
Yeah, she did.
She looked.
Look at that.
They fucking nailed it with Raven, but to no avail. Right? It seems like they just couldn't recover their player base, and it seems that Warner Brothers decided to pull the plug on them. So it's only perfectly ironic that after the game has been announced to be shut down, that the gameplay actually seemingly got fixed. So apparently, in the patch for Season 5, they made some drastic gameplay changes to the speed of the game, and one of those being how the game is significantly faster. Shut up. Okay. Oh, crap. Okay. Well, the other one was... That's just a trailer. Yeah, the other one got borked. It was supposed to be here. They showed like the faster gameplay.
Yeah.
And so that has sparked some, fan fervor. And at the time that occurred, when the update first came out, lots of people were like, "Hey, like, let's save multiverses!" Right? That actually started trending online. Not that WB will listen, of course. And of course. Well, amid all this, we had the director of Multiverses, Tony Hyun. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. It's a Chinese, Taiwanese name. It's an Asian name, so it's kind of probably has weird pronunciation. But Tony Hyun went on to Twitter to speak out about the closure of the game and about the unfortunate harassment that many of the staff was saying. So he was quoted saying, "Okay, when there are threats to harm, it's crossing the line. I hope that you can take a step back and realize that this is an extremely sad time for the team. I'm in deep mourning for the game. Nobody wanted this outcome, and it wasn't for lack of caring or effort." A then went on to speak about how characters are chosen. He pretty much said it's the characters are chosen based on team compassion, and he gave like an anecdote about how like people saw like Banana Guard, because Banana Guard was a character added like in season 2 or 3. And he shared a story about like how like the development team was like really excited to do something about Banana Guard, and they started doing like mock-ups for them like like a weekend. So he was like, "Okay, we have to do something with this. You guys are creatively on fire." And then to close all that, he gave a big thanks to the community and told them, "Hey, like, spend money on other fighting games. We're really sorry this happened, but we're so thankful that you guys supported us." So before I move to the second part of why WB is on fire, you have any thoughts on Multiverses?
Well, I mean, not really. I mean, it was kind of a game that I've always just seen as a game that Smash Brothers players would meme on and be like, "Oh my god, look at this. They're trying to take away Smash's thunder," which obviously they didn't. But apparently the game had a pretty good following to last this long.
Well, lasted a year.
Well, people were pretty excited about it, regardless. I think mostly because it's just the Warner Brothers characters. And also they took the Shaggy meme and made it a thing. And like gave him like superpowers and stuff. But I don't really have much to add. It's just another live service failure by WB.
Yeah, another live service sale by WB. But sure, guys, double down on it. Be our guest.
I'm sure it'll work. The umpteenth time you do it.
One of your highest selling games was Hogwarts Legacy, a single player non-live service game with no microtransactions. But sure, keep working those live services.
Yeah.
But moving on with how WB is currently on fire. So there was a report by Bloomberg that was talking about some of the deeper problems within Warner Brothers and Warner Brothers management.
Yes, I did read about this.
So specifically, Jason Schreier, the writer of the Bloomberg article, reported about how Wonder Woman is currently in development hell as it has been recently rebooted and
Yes.
has been had a change of directors, and the game has already cost a whopping $100 million. Now, just as a reminder, this game was revealed in the Game Awards, freaking 2021, and has since then hasn't really been much word on it, and that's because, well, Monolith, the developers of the game, kind of struggled to find something worthwhile out of it. And part of that is because they were trying to rework the Nemesis system, which is from the Shadow of War games, from the Lord of the Rings games. There was one with the Shadow of War, and I forgot what the other one was called. But the ones where you played the Wraith dude, which is, I remind you, a patented mechanic. And apparently they were trying to rework it into, instead of it being like Wonder Woman forms Nemesis, like with enemies that remember like her and like try and ambush her and stuff, and they end up like procedurally doing generated events with like the characters and stuff. She would instead like befriend them, but they couldn't really find a way to make it work. So they ended up scrapping it towards a more action adventure direction of the game. And apparently, like, the game is still years away, so God only knows when that is going to happen. And then the Bloomberg report also discussed how there was deeper management issues across the board, and about other studios that were also struggling to get games off the launch pad. Specifically, WB Montreal, after Gotham Knights, were trying to propose some games. Gotham Knights, as you guys know, was also a live service game. Well, it was originally a live service game, right? Because we all knew it was live service. They never said it was live service, but it was so like live service coded that there was no way it wasn't live service. Like, it had all the bullshit you expect, right? The emphasis on loot, right? The big open world, the multiple playable characters, emphasis on co-op, right? It was very clearly going to be a live service game, but then it was changed to be a not live service game, but the game was still crap because it was compromised by the fact that it was a live service game at its core.
Yep.
Well, with Montreal, after the whole fiasco with Gotham Knights, apparently they tried to do another live service game, but that one didn't pan out. And then they went on to propose a Constantine game, and they also proposed a Flash game, but the Constantine game, management never really responded on it, so they decided not to go through with it. And then the Flash game, because the movie did such crap, that movie sucked, they decided not to do that. So now they're just working on they're helping out the Wonder Woman game, and they're also working on a Game of Thrones game, apparently, which will be very interesting. So any thoughts so far? Because I've been yapping a lot.
Well, I mean, this was the like the series of articles that you picked. It's funny too because I came across the Wonder Woman article, and I was gonna add it to the itinerary, but you had already beat me to it. But I didn't realize how screwed Warner Brothers really is, at least with their gaming prospects. But yeah, they had one really good looking trailer in 2021, and I know this is like a pre-rendered CGI cutscene, but I love the way this Wonder Woman looks. I mean, look at that.
She does look cool.
Yeah, dude, she looks fucking dope. And I mean, I don't know what kind of a game you could make with Wonder Woman, but it would have to be action adventure. I mean, you can't do an Arkham series on Wonder Woman because the way that her character is, I don't think you can play like that. So I don't know what kind of game you can make with Wonder Woman, but you said that they were trying to implement the Nemesis system to no avail. It seems like they're just trying to get use out of that damn patent. But they're starting to realize that
patent that is fucking useless, right?
Apparently it is useless, at least for this game.
Yeah.
Then they've only been able. Oh, Shadow of Mordor. That's what it was.
Yeah, Shadow of Mordor. But there was another one too. War of Mordor.
Shadow of War.
Shadow of War. Yeah, okay. They're all called Shadow. Okay, Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War. Okay.
Yeah. But it kind of sucks that they're just blowing so much money digging around with these characters, especially like their well-known IPs, because Warner Brothers is sitting on a gold mine as far as the whole DC catalog, and they just cannot get it right.
Yeah, think about all like this $300 million alone just lost on Suicide Squad, the multiverses. Then you slap on another $100 million with Wonder Woman, and then God knows how much money they've been flushing down the toilet with all these other studios dicking around trying to find a suitable game. Like,
yeah,
with Monolith specifically actually wanting to work like on an original game, but WB is like, no, go make us a Wonder Woman game. How dare you try to make original stuff, right? Only adaptions. We only do established IPs here, buddy.
Again, executives getting in the way of creative talent. So it sucks. It really does. I don't even know what
were you gonna say? Finish your thought.
No, I was just gonna say the Game of Thrones game. That could be a good way to implement the Nemesis system. Different houses will remember your actions depending on if you screw them.
And then procedural events happen as a result of it.
Yes,
that's how it worked in Shadow of Mordor. Right?
I have never played the Shadow of Mordor.
Oh, it was really cool. So like there is like I'll explain it real quick. It's kind of hard to explain. You gotta have to kind of see it, which is why my explanation earlier was kind of shit. But essentially, like you have like a bunch of established NPCs that are like on your list, right? And all of these NPCs are like interconnected, like in a map. Like you see them all connected to each other. So as you go around and interact with them and like kill them and stuff, what happens is like random events will happen. So like sometimes like they'll fight to the death and then you kill them, and then when you go to the tree, like they'll be dead. But then like other characters in the hierarchy like will rise. So like if you kill like a chief, right, his buddy will then take his position. So then later on, his buddy might come back like randomly. Like it's not scripted, it's random. He'll come back and like be like, "Oh, you killed like my chief. I'm gonna take revenge on you," and stuff, right? Or sometimes they'll run away and then they'll disappear off the map and then off the hierarchy tree, and then like later on, like they'll come back and be like trying to ambush you or something. It was stuff like that, or like you could turn them to your side, right? Because you could actually mind control them. So like if you chose to like mind control them, you could actually have them like infiltrate the hierarchy for you, and they'll actually give you like information and stuff on like where like all the rest of the hierarchy is.
That's cool. Oh man, that's perfect for Game of Thrones. The lies and deception.
Yeah, it's super cool. Now imagine like if Assassin's Creed had like access to that. I mean, Ubisoft wouldn't do it because Ubisoft is allergic to doing cool shit. But like imagine if we had an Assassin's Creed game, like that was the whole game, right? Where you just deal with this hierarchy of like this system of people, the assassination targets. And like they're like dynamically changing around, and like the events of the story can like change depending on like who you kill and like who takes what position, and then who manages to get away from you and stuff. Like maybe you fuck up an assassination attempt, and like instead of the game being like game over, like the target just leaves and they just come back later with like new enemies heightened or something, security. or the heightened security or something.
Yes, that would be dope.
That's kind of what happened with like Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor. I remember playing that game, and like I didn't like the game that much, but I'm like, damn, if this was an Assassin's Creed game, this would be fucking dope.
Another good idea that we'll never see because they just, like you said, they're allergic to doing cool shit.
Well, I mean, also it's patented, so like they can't do it. They'd have to change it like drastically to the point where it's like it's just not that system anymore.
Or pay, I don't know, you could pay like a license to use it, or
I don't know how that works for patents.
Well, I mean, why else would you patent something? So that no one else can use it, or so that you could charge people?
Copyright is like you can charge people for them to use it. But patent, I think it's like it's just yours. I don't know if you can like give it out. I mean, you probably can't, but I don't know how it works.
I mean, you could rent it, but like you'll be owed royalties because it makes like it's stupid. Like
that's probably what happens. You have to pay like royalties and shit.
Yeah,
kind of similar to copyright.
Yeah.
But we digress.
We digress. But anyway, yeah, dude, Warner Brothers. Another friend of the show. Like
another friend of the show, right? Yeah, exactly. So we're probably wondering, like, oh man, like who's surely like can we put a face to this dumpster fire? And well, yes, we can. We could put this man's face. His name is David Haddad, who is also mentioned in the Bloomberg report. And in that Bloomberg report, Jason Schreier interviewed several WB Games employees who had some words to say about David Haddad. Well, for background, David Haddad is a Harvard graduate of business school. He joined WB in 2013, the games division 2013. And before that, he worked like in toys and entertainment companies. So he's like, oh, I could do video games, right? I'm a Harvard graduate. I know what I'm doing. I'm smart. And he proceeded to not be smart and make a lot of really dumb decisions and be neglectful. And the TLDR of like what the employees were saying was that like, yeah, there was a very serious lack of direction in what was going on. And there was a lot of trend chasing, which ended up, costing a lot of development time of us, reaching dead ends with stuff that we just were not equipped to deal with. It took a very long time to answer questions on like whether a studio can make a game or cannot make a game, or whether they'll like show up to E3 or not. So, if you wanna put a face to blame, you can blame David Haddad, who, by the way, is resigning and will be leaving WB Games very soon.
Oh wow! Is the consequences of one's actions they're being held accountable?
I know, so rare. I mean, he'll find another cushy ass job somewhere else, but
yeah.
We'll take what we can get.
But at least, but you know what? Yeah, take what you can get.
So what's the road for recovery for WB? Well, apparently Rocksteady is working on a new Batman game, which is what they should have fucking been doing from the beginning, instead of doing a Suicide Squad game. And then also, Hogwarts Legacy, Avalanche Studios, developers of Hogwarts Legacy, are apparently working on a DLC. And then, of course, the hope is that Monolith will finish the Wonder Woman game sometime soon. It'll be a big hit.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's happening anytime soon because, as you say, they're starting from scratch with a new director. So,
yeah, that's gonna be years away. 2030, the soonest, is what I think. That's my guess. Same thing with the Batman game, because I think they just started the Batman game as well.
Yeah, and I hope that the Hogwarts Legacy sequel does well, because the first one was pretty good. They need to add Quidditch to it, but like as a mini game in game, not as a separate.
No, they do that. That's such a gimme. How do you not do that?
No, well, I think we covered it. They didn't do it in game, and instead I think they just reserved the Quidditch aspect of it for the separate game, the Harry Potter Quidditch Champions.
That mobile game.
Why did you have to make it a mobile game? Like that literally would have been the best.
Think how freaking lit a Quidditch game on console with online matchmaking.
Yeah, that would be fun. And then of course there's like story elements tied to it. You play Quidditch against because it could totally happen. I mean, they already had the broom riding mechanics in the game, which functioned really, really well. All you had to do was tighten the controls a bit and make it for a competitive setting. It could be done. It could be done. But
it could be done. It could be done. But you know what can't be done, or what could be done, was PSN working over this past weekend. Why don't you tell us about that?
It was almost like if it was predicted to happen. PlayStation, Sony, oh hey, we're just gonna drop the PSN requirement. Oh really? Why? And then PSN goes down. It's like it was like God was looking out for us. God was looking.
PC gamers vindicated once again.
Indeed. In fact, even the article admits it. It feels good to be a PC gamer right now.
Yep.
So, this on February 8th, the day before the Super Bowl, the PlayStation Network was quote completely borked for 16 hours. Well, actually, it extended to 24. They did restore service after a day of outage. However, the question many gamers are asking is, what the fuck just happened? We actually, so Sony's official comment on the matter had been a tweet from the Ask PlayStation Support account that reads, "We are aware of some issues that you might be currently experiencing with PSN, which includes services like account management, gaming and social, PlayStation Video, PlayStation Store, and PlayStation Direct. However, they recognize that there are problems, but they have offered no reasoning as to what actually happened." Which honestly, players are upset, and a lot of people have not alluded, but they've referenced the infamous 2011 PSN hack that really, it was a high profile data breach. So they've actually Sony they lost a lot of goodwill when that data breach happened. They've been very skeptical with Sony, and they have wanted them to be upfront about any and all issues that would happen with the PSN network. So the fact that they're not getting any answers is very concerning. And even to this day, I mean, it only happened a few days ago, but yeah. So I think you remember the PSN data breach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a huge shit show. Yeah, approximately like 77 million accounts were compromised. People's info was, taken, and people were very upset at the lack of transparency from Sony, who
That was like when they leaked like Spider-Man stuff too, right? Like the Spider-Man scripts and stuff, and like internal meetings with.
no, so no,
Was that the
no,
other big leak?
no, that was the other big leak. That was the Insomniac leaks. This
No, no, no,
leak,
no, no, no. There was one in between those where they had like
no,
emails and like email exchanges between like CEOs and stuff, and I forgot her name, like Amy Pascal or whatever. Like she had like she
I,
made like a bunch of racist jokes with one of her executive pals.
oh no, this was different. I think that happened in between the Insomniac leaks, but this was way before. 'Cause this was in 2011. We were still in high school when this hack happened.
Okay, okay,
Yep.
but what about it?
Yeah.
What about it?
Oh, about the 2011 hack?
Mm-hmm.
Well, oh no, well, it was a big hack because a lot of very sensitive information, people's credit card information and all that, and also their addresses too, were, you know, taken and probably sold on the black market. And people have been upset with Sony because they were like, oh, whoops, sorry. And people are like, what do you mean you're sorry? That's my info. So the there's also another article by Aftermath that described the PlayStation Network outage as modern gaming in a nutshell. So, as they say, over the weekend, the PlayStation Network, which Sony has had a hard on and wants people to have accounts for, went down for roughly 24 hours. Now, they did publish a brief statement on Twitter. Let me see if I can pull that up. Where they say the network services have fully recovered from an operational issue, and we apologize for any inconvenience and thank the community for their patience. All PlayStation Plus members will automatically receive an additional 5 days of service. So they essentially comped, you know, certain members by giving them credit for days, but they still have no explanation as to why. And I think, and that is what players are most upset about, is they're not getting any kind of transparency from Sony. And considering all the recent bad publicity Sony has been getting in regards to the PSN drama, they want to know what the fuck is going on. Because and that's pretty much it in regards to the PSN network outage. You have any thoughts on it?
Dude, damn, Sony has the worst fucking security in the world.
Yeah, they do. Do
we,
you remember?
we talked about like just 3 hacks, like there's 3 separate hacks just now, and they all happened in the span of 10 years.
Dude, do you also remember the hack when that movie, The Interview, came out? That movie with Seth Rogen and James Franco?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, apparently it was North Korean hackers that were hacking it.
Yeah, I did
They were
hear. I heard
hacking the
that.
movie. Yeah, to stop it from being shown in theaters. So what they did was they just released it like on Netflix so people could watch it in their homes. And it turned out to be like the better decision.
Yeah, 'cause apparently it wasn't a very good
But
movie.
yeah, it was okay. It was okay. I think the hype around it because of the hacks is what
It was great marketing.
drove.
It's free publicity,
Honestly,
man.
it was excellent publicity. Like you could not have marketed it any better. But it's funny because I remember at the time, the I forgot who it was, but it was a Sony executive that was kind of scared about launching the movie. But the head of Sony, I'm not sure, I'm not sure if it was the head or if it was the president, but some big shot at Sony essentially threatened them and was like, "You're releasing this movie, whether you like it or not." And apparently, he wasn't that guy wasn't too much of a fan of North Korea, which kind of makes sense because the Japanese and the Koreans have, you know, they do have tension, I believe, in their histories, especially the North Korea and the Japanese, if memory serves correctly.
I don't remember the specifics of that at all. I just remember,
Yeah,
I just remember hearing about it that North Korea was trying to stop a freaking Seth Rogen movie
a Seth Rogen movie, and
from being
yeah,
premiered. It's just so funny. Really, this stoner nonsense is what you.
so make that 4 hacks that we talked about in regards to Sony.
Poor security system. Dog. Get some McAfee, bro. What are you doing? Get some Nortons. Get something.
Who was alive at the time? Can you believe that shit?
Yeah, wow. It's a while ago then.
It was a while ago, dude. Again, also in high school.
Yes.
But
Don't
Sony
remind
has
me.
been now. Yeah, but now Sony's having some issues with their security, so they're just I mean, they're not like burning down, but you can definitely see like there's a lot of seams that are bursting right now. They're having a lot of problems that they need to address, or it will not end well for them, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, speaking of problems at Sony, the problems continue.
Yeah. Yeah, because hey, the PSN outage.
Wasn't enough.
No. Actually, it's not even important. They don't consider that important. However, oh, that was your cue.
Oh, it's
Sorry.
like you said.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know where to go off that 'cause I don't even know where you were going with it, to be honest. But
No,
seems,
they find this. They find this important. They find this important. You know what? Maybe I should have just finished it. Whatever. Take us to the next story.
so Sony, continuing off the Sony pain train, or rather the asshole train. So it seems that Sony has been pulling some mods out from the Bloodborne community, even though the Bloodborne community has been in shambles this past week for reasons that we will go over in our next segment. But apparently, Sony has hired a legal company to DMCA claim several mods that have been out in the wild for Bloodborne. The first one being a 60 FPS mod that makes the game run at 60 FPS, but more importantly, it makes it run at not shit frames, because even though Bloodborne is a great game, it kind of runs like shit. And well, the modder Lance McDonald agreed with that, and he made a mod that pretty much unlocked the frames of Bloodborne and allowed it to run at a full 60 FPS. And this was by no means a easy fix, because the internal logic of the game runs on 30 FPS. So like things like the elevator timing got broken when like you unlock the frame rates for it. So like he had to fix all that stuff. So it definitely took a lot of work. It was like a few months progress, but it was well worth it because it made the game run really well and it looked great at 60 FPS. But it seems that Sony disagreed as they ordered a DMCA takedown on February 2nd. And on Blue Sky, Lance McDonald announced it, where he said, on February 21st, 2021, I created and released a patch for Bloodborne, which makes the game run at 60 FPS. Today, I received a DMCA takedown notification on behalf of Sony Interactive Entertainment asking that I remove links to the patch I posted on the internet. So now I've done so. Well, naturally, people already uploaded it elsewhere, so like it's kind of meaningless. But at the same time, like it's just kind of dickish for them to be going after mods. But the dickishness doesn't end there, because it seems that Sony was also content with removing the PSX demake of Bloodborne, which was just like how it sounds. It was like a reimagining of like how Bloodborne would be if it was on PS1. And I can't show it because the video got taken down, as well as the link to the download files for it. So why is all this, right? It's a little weird that Sony is taking down several mods, one of which is 3+ years old, and the other one's like 2 years old. Why now of all times? Well, surely, according to Bloodborne fans at least, surely they are making a new Bloodborne, or they're doing a remaster, or they're doing a remake, as you would see on Reddit. And boy, are they going to be, woo, huffing that copium real good, man. But I don't want to spoil it, right? But I think you can get the idea of where Bloodborne is at right now. But yeah, like it's so weird that they're doing this like now of all times. It really cements that Sony just hates Bloodborne. They hate their fans. Fuck you for liking Bloodborne. Player live service games, buy fair games. Fuck you, Bloodborne.
You weren't supposed to enjoy this game.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to enjoy this. I mean, we could have had a remaster if, fucking Jim Ryan and Herman Holst didn't have the brilliant idea of putting Blue Point on a God of War live service game. For some fucking reason, they thought it was a good idea to get the remake remaster company to make a live service game. But that is neither here nor there, as now we have no Bloodborne to enjoy at all now. Not in the enhanced Bloodborne, at least. We always have the base game running at shitty FPS, which I would never endorse. Taking legal action or taking illegal action. But the mods are still out there. Just saying, right? Lance McDonald wanted to take his down, but other people out there put theirs up. But any thoughts on this?
Educational software will live on forever.
Yep.
You can't take it away. But again, I've my exposure to Bloodborne has been just the memes and you. So, however, I do think that there's hope. I believe that there is a better chance that a remake or a remaster of some kind is coming more than Sony is just being assholes.
Oh, you want some, man? It's real good.
No, I don't need any. I mean, as far as like a 50-50 chance, I would say that it's actually more like 60-40.
64, that's what you're going with?
Yeah, because you never know. Sony is just on this, villain arc right now. Well, asshole arc, more like it.
Yeah, well,
Because villain implies that they're actually competent, but that's clearly not the case. They're just assholes.
if it is happening, it'll be later rather than sooner.
Yes, but hey, you know what? Like it's happened before. Um, it happened with Blizzard when they took down those private servers of WoW Classic. They actually brought in like 90% of the team that worked on the servers to work on the official WoW Classic. And
I didn't know that.
yeah, it did.
That's a rare, cool move on Blizzard's part.
Well, yeah, that this was. Yeah, I forgot when this was, but I think it was the same BlizzCon that Overwatch 2 got announced. Actually, if you talk to Manny, he can tell you the story because
Probably.
well, I mean, if we can pull him off the WoW crack.
If we can contact him.
Oh yeah, bro. Like I got Discord like connected on my phone. You should disk me through Discord. What a liar! He's such a liar.
I left my guild, bro. All I do is play as just one person on hardcore. Don't worry.
Congratulate. We miss you, Manny. Please come back.
Please come back. We love you. We just want you back. We're up to Lethal Company. Please, we bought the game 2 months ago. Jesus Christ. You can't get it for other friends because I have to fucking open up a calendar and be like, okay, now I'll be back at do now next Saturday at 8 p.m.
Listen, I just gotta tell you, I'm pumped that we got a day set aside just for the Renaissance Festival. That's a miracle. Like I'm gonna go to church next Sunday just because we got that to work. Like praise God. But yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts before we move on?
No, man. Just give my boy his Bloodborne so that he could stop huffing the copium. Please.
Stop running low too, man. I need that new shit.
Man.
All right, dude. So how about you sign us off?
Thank you guys very much for watching this episode of 2 Bar Connection. We really appreciate you guys watching our content. Please subscribe to our channel for future updates. Leave a like down below if you like the video. And also leave a comment for any games that you want us to play. Oh, shit. Excuse me. Leave a comment for any games that you want us to play and or any stories that you'd like us to cover. The best way to watch us is on YouTube on the video format. However, we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music for audio-only versions of our episodes. We also are on social media as well. You can find us on X. No, we will not call it Twitter. And
You mean Twitter? No, we will not call it.
Have you gotten Blue Sky up and running yet or no?
Don't you mean Twitter? No, we won't call it X.
Twitter. Oh, whoops. Sorry.
It's late. I understand. It's way past your bedtime.
Elon call it. Elon subjected me to the mind virus. Now I'll call it X forever. I'm sorry, bro.
No. Okay. No, I just have Blue Sky to answer your question.
Okay, but we will get that up and running so that we can be on multiple.
If I can remember. I don't even go on our Twitter that often, to be honest.
Honestly, does anyone even use Blue Sky or?
No, people use Blue Sky. Yeah, definitely. A lot of people. People are quitting Twitter in droves to go to Blue Sky.
Okay, no, because they tried that. Like a lot of people have tried to quit, like Rumble quit was like an offshoot of YouTube, but it just became like a fucking circle jerk of.
Yeah, but that's kind of different because people like make their earnings, they're living on that. You don't really make your living on Twitter. You kind of just make your profile.
Okay. Well, apparently you can monetize yourself on X now, so there is some kind of incentive. But whatever, that's another topic for another day. But yeah, thank you very much for watching us, guys.
Yeah, so thanks again for listening. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Peace.
Bye, everybody.